Most people believe intelligence is fixed genetic trait. You're either born gifted genius or condemned to mediocrity through biological lottery determining cognitive ceiling beyond which no improvement is possible. Samurai understood opposite truth that Western psychology recently confirmed after centuries of wrong assumptions. Intelligence is trained capacity developing through specific systematic practices, just like physical strength develops through specific training protocols. Gifted genius, relying on natural talent without systematic cognitive training, performs worse under pressure than trained practitioner who built superior cognitive architecture through deliberate practice. But cognitive training must follow specific sequence because attempting advanced practices before establishing foundational capabilities creates dangerous cognitive patterns that appear intelligent but actually impair decision-making under real conditions where performance matters most. Modern education teaches passive knowledge accumulation. Samurai method is active cognitive capacity building. Systematic practices developing superior thinking architecture that makes you demonstrably more effective than naturally gifted individuals who never trained their cognitive systems deliberately. Context. Samurai didn't develop cognitive training for academic performance or test scores. They developed it for life or death strategic situations, requiring flawless cognitive performance under maximum pressure, where single mental error meant instant death. This created selection pressure, producing most effective cognitive training methods ever developed, because ineffective methods killed practitioners immediately through combat failure. What survived is systematic training protocol building 7 specific cognitive capacities: attention control, pattern recognition, decision speed, mental endurance, creative problem solving, learning velocity, and metacognition, all integrated, creating superior thinking architecture functioning reliably under any conditions. Why 7 specific capacities matters strategically becomes clear examining cognitive performance requirements. Fewer than 7 leaves critical capability gap, creating exploitable weakness. Attention control without pattern recognition sees everything, but understands nothing. Pattern recognition without decision speed understands situation, but responds too slowly. Decision speed without mental endurance performs well briefly, then collapses. Mental endurance without creative problem solving maintains mediocre performance indefinitely. Creative thinking without learning velocity solves current problems slowly. Learning velocity without metacognition accumulates knowledge inefficiently. Metacognition without attention control produces self-aware confusion. All 7 capacities must develop systematically, creating complete cognitive architecture. Understanding why sequence matters prevents common training failure, where enthusiasm creates random practice across all areas, producing scattered development without functional integration. Each capacity builds on previous establishing foundation required for next level. Attempting pattern recognition before mastering attention control is attempting complex analysis with constantly wandering focus, producing unreliable conclusions. Attempting decision speed before establishing patterns produces fast, wrong decisions. Following proper sequence builds reliable cognitive superiority systematically. Principle 1. Attention control. Attention control is cognitive foundation. Ability to direct focus deliberately. Maintain concentration despite distraction. Attention control establishes fundamental requirement for all higher cognitive functions because you cannot think effectively about what you cannot focus on consistently. Most people experience attention as passive involuntary process. Attention goes wherever stimuli are strongest, creating constant reactivity to environment rather than deliberate direction of cognitive resources. This creates scattered thinking where you're constantly distracted by irrelevant information, preventing deep analysis of important problems. Additionally, Weak attention control makes you manipulable. Whoever controls attention flow controls thinking process, making you vulnerable to deliberate distraction tactics in negotiation, marketing, or strategic competition. Why attention control creates strategic advantage becomes clear examining performance under pressure. Pressure increases distracting stimuli. Fear thoughts, physical discomfort, time pressure, observer judgment, all competing for attention bandwidth. Person with weak attention control loses focus on task, becoming overwhelmed by distractions, producing performance collapse precisely when performance matters most. Person with trained attention control maintains task focus regardless of distracting stimuli, producing consistent peak performance, even under maximum pressure. Research confirms attention control is strongest predictor of academic and professional achievement because it determines how effectively you can apply intelligence to actual problems requiring sustained focus. Consider strategic negotiation, requiring sustained attention on opponents' patterns while managing your own responses. Weak attention control means getting distracted by aggressive tactics, emotional reactions, or tangential issues, losing track of strategic objectives, and making concessions through scattered thinking. Strong attention control means maintaining focus on strategic framework throughout interaction, noticing opponents' patterns clearly, executing planned responses deliberately, regardless of tactical distractions they introduce. Same negotiation situation produces dramatically different outcomes through differential attention control capability. Reality check moment. Stop and assess your attention control honestly right now. Can you read dense technical material for 60 minutes, maintaining full comprehension without checking phone or allowing mind to wander to other topics? Most people discover they can't maintain focused attention beyond 15 minutes before distraction occurs, which is precisely why they struggle with complex problems requiring sustained analytical thinking. Recognizing current attention capacity is first step towards systematic improvement through deliberate training. Implementation requires daily attention training practice that samurai developed through specific exercises. Candle meditation is foundational practice. Sit comfortably in dark room, light single candle. Focus attention completely on flame for 20 minutes, maintaining awareness of flame's movements without allowing attention to wander to thoughts. When attention wanders, notice immediately and return to flame without self-criticism. This trains fundamental attention control mechanism. Deliberate focus direction, distraction recognition, attention return without emotional reaction. Alternative practice is breath counting, maintaining count from 1 to 10 repeatedly for 20 minutes without losing count, which trains identical mechanism through different focus object. Execute daily for 30 consecutive days. Tracking performance improvement as distraction frequency decreases and sustained focus duration increases progressively. Transition. Attention control establishes foundational focus capacity. But sustained attention without pattern recognition means staring at information without understanding it. You're focused, but not learning. Principle 2 solves this problem by developing systematic pattern extraction from observed information. Principle 2, pattern recognition. Pattern recognition develops strategic thinking capacity. Identify reliable regularities. Predict future from past accurately. Pattern recognition transforms raw observation into strategic understanding by identifying repeating structures in complex information, allowing prediction of future events from historical patterns. Most people observe events as disconnected random occurrences, missing underlying patterns that make behavior highly predictable to trained observer. This creates strategic blindness, where you're constantly surprised by unexpected developments that were entirely predictable from pattern analysis. Additionally, weak pattern recognition forces learning through direct experience, requiring you to personally experience every situation before understanding it. while strong pattern recognition allows learning through observation, extracting lessons from others' experiences, accelerating knowledge acquisition dramatically. Why pattern recognition creates overwhelming advantage becomes clear examining strategic competition. Two people observe identical information. Person without pattern recognition sees disconnected events requiring individual analysis each time similar situation appears, producing slow, reactive responses. Person with pattern recognition identifies underlying structure, allowing immediate classification of new situations into known categories, producing fast, proactive responses based on proven strategies. This speed differential compounds over time, creating exponential advantage, as pattern recognizer accumulates strategic insights faster than non-recognizer, building progressively superior strategic model. Consider market analysis requiring prediction of future trends from historical data. Person without pattern recognition treats each market movement as unique event requiring fresh analysis, producing paralysis from information overload because every data point seems equally important. Person with pattern recognition identifies recurring market patterns, accumulation phases, distribution phases, panic selling, euphoric buying, allowing immediate trend classification and strategic response based on historical pattern performance. Same market data produces dramatically different trading results through differential pattern recognition capability, determining who profits from predictable cycles, others miss completely. Implementation requires systematic pattern extraction practice. Samurai developed specific training using Go game analysis. Review completed professional games, identifying strategic patterns that reliably produce victory or defeat, then apply identified patterns to new games, predicting outcomes before completion. Modern equivalent is case study analysis across any domain, business failures, relationship patterns, military campaigns, whatever interests you strategically. Study minimum 30 cases in single domain. Identify common patterns, distinguishing success from failure, articulate patterns explicitly in writing, then test predictions on new cases before outcomes are known. This trains systematic pattern extraction and predictive application. Additionally, practice reverse engineering. Observe any successful outcome, work backwards, identifying which actions and conditions produce that outcome, articulate pattern explicitly, apply to new situations, testing pattern reliability. Execute daily for 60 days, building substantial pattern library in chosen domain, creating strategic advantage through superior predictive capability. Transition. Pattern recognition establishes strategic understanding capacity, identifying reliable patterns in complex information. But understanding without timely action produces analysis paralysis. You see what should be done, but respond too slowly for practical advantage. Principle 3 solves this problem by developing decision speed under pressure. Principle 3. Decision speed under pressure. Decision speed determines action advantage. Recognize situation, choose response. Execute immediately. Decision speed under pressure creates timing advantage in any competitive domain because faster correct decision captures opportunities before slower competitors recognize them and eliminates threats before they fully develop. Most people slow dramatically under pressure because stress triggers analytical paralysis, reviewing all options repeatedly, seeking additional information unnecessarily, fearing decision consequences, creating deliberation extending far beyond what situation requires. This produces consistently late responses, arriving after optimal timing, passes missing opportunities, and suffering fully developed threats that could have been prevented through faster action. Additionally, slow decision creates predictability. If you always respond slowly, opponents can act first, controlling interaction rather than reacting to your initiatives. Why decision speed matters more than decision quality in many situations becomes clear examining time-sensitive scenarios. Many situations have adequate decision window that closes rapidly, making fast, adequate decision superior to slow, perfect decision arriving after window closes. Job opportunity appears, fast, adequate response captures position. Slow, perfect response arrives after position fills. Market opportunity emerges, fast, adequate entry captures profit. Slow, perfect analysis arrives after movement completes. Relationship issue surfaces, fast, adequate address prevents escalation. Slow, perfect response arrives after damage accumulates irreversibly. This doesn't mean thoughtless impulsivity. It means trained, rapid assessment, producing good enough decisions within available time, rather than perfect decisions requiring unavailable time. Consider combat situation. Samurai trained for requiring instant tactical decisions under maximum pressure. Enemy attacks from unexpected angle. Decision delay of single second means death. Immediate, adequate response means survival, enabling subsequent improved responses. Modern equivalent is crisis management, where delayed response allows crisis to grow geometrically, making resolution progressively harder. Fire starts. Immediate adequate response with nearby extinguisher contains fire easily. Delayed perfect response, waiting for optimal equipment arrives when fire is uncontrollable, requiring massive resources. Same principle applies across domains. Speed of adequate decision often matters more than quality of slow decision because timing windows are real and unforgiving. Implementation requires pressure training, building decision speed through progressively compressed time limits. Samurai used live blade training, where hesitation meant injury, creating maximum pressure, forcing instant decisions without deliberation time. Modern safe equivalent is timed problem solving with real consequences. Set timer for 2 minutes, present strategic problem requiring decision, force decision before timer expires with monetary penalty for delay, execute decision immediately without revision. Start with problems in familiar domain, where pattern recognition exists, progressively move to unfamiliar domains requiring faster analysis. This trains rapid assessment and commitment, overriding hesitation impulse. Additionally, practice post-decision confidence. Once decision is made, eliminate second-guessing and revision, continuing to next decision. Because post-decision doubt impairs execution and trains indecisiveness, reinforcing slow decision pattern. Execute daily for 45 days, tracking decision speed improvement as deliberation time decreases, while maintaining adequate decision quality through pattern application rather than extended analysis. Transition. Decision speed establishes timing advantage through rapid, adequate responses. But speed without endurance produces brief peak performance, collapsing under sustained demand. You decide well initially, then progressively worse as mental fatigue accumulates. Principle 4 solves this problem by developing sustained cognitive performance capability. Principle 4. Mental endurance. Mental endurance maintains peak performance, sustained cognitive output, resist mental fatigue. Mental endurance determines performance sustainability under extended cognitive demand, separating professionals who maintain excellence throughout long workday from amateurs who peak briefly, then decline. Most people experience dramatic cognitive decline after 2 to 3 hours concentrated work. Attention wanders, decision quality deteriorates, creative thinking disappears, producing mediocre performance throughout most of productive day, despite brief, early excellence. This creates fundamental productivity limitation, where actual high-quality work hours are a tiny fraction of nominal work hours, because mental fatigue prevents effective thinking most of time. Additionally, weak endurance makes you exploitable in extended negotiations or competitions because opponents can deliberately extend interaction, until your cognitive performance collapses, producing errors they exploit decisively. Why mental endurance creates compound advantage becomes clear examining accumulated output over time. Person with 2-hour endurance produces 2 hours excellent work daily, totaling 14 hours weekly. Person with 8-hour endurance produces 8 hours excellent work daily, totaling 56 hours weekly. 4 times more excellent work through sustained performance rather than brief intensity. This differential compounds over years, creating overwhelming capability gap, where endurance-trained individual accumulates vastly superior experience and output compared to brief peak individual producing identical quality work, but only fraction of volume. Consider strategic project work requiring sustained analytical thinking over multiple months. Person with weak endurance produces scattered bursts of insight, separated by long periods of mediocre work, creating fragmented understanding and slow progress requiring frequent restarts as previous insights are forgotten. Person with strong endurance maintains consistent analytical performance throughout project, creating integrated understanding and rapid progress as insights accumulate, systematically building on previous work rather than requiring reconstruction. Same project produces dramatically different results through differential mental endurance, determining sustained performance capability. Reality check moment. Examine your typical workday, objectively tracking cognitive performance hour by hour. What time do you complete highest quality work? How many hours daily do you maintain peak cognitive performance before noticeable decline? Most people discover they produce excellent work only first 2 to 3 hours, then experience progressive decline, producing mediocre work rest of day, which is precisely why they underperform capability throughout most hours, despite knowing how to perform excellently. Recognizing current endurance limitation is first step towards systematic capacity building through proper training. Implementation requires progressive endurance building through gradually extended cognitive work sessions. Start where current endurance ends. If you fatigue after 2 hours concentrated work, start training at 2-hour sessions. Execute cognitively demanding work, maintaining full focus for entire session without breaks or distraction. Track session completion quality, noting when cognitive fatigue impairs performance. Once 2-hour sessions are consistently excellent, extend to 2 hours, 15 minutes. Once that's consistent, extend to 2 hours, 30 minutes. Continue progressive extension, adding 15 minutes weekly until reaching 8-hour sustained performance capacity. This trains mental endurance through adaptation to progressive overload, identical to physical endurance training. Additionally, practice strategic cognitive rest. After sustained work session, execute active recovery through completely different cognitive activity rather than passive rest or continued work in same domain, allowing cognitive recovery while maintaining alertness. Execute daily for 90 days, building substantial endurance increase through systematic capacity expansion. Transition. Mental endurance establishes sustained performance capability, but endurance executing known solutions produces reliable mediocrity. You work effectively all day, but only on familiar problems, using established methods, never developing breakthrough solutions. Principle 5 solves this problem by developing creative problem-solving, generating novel approaches to difficult challenges. Principle 5. Creative problem-solving. Creative problem-solving generates novel solutions, break conventional constraints, connect distant concepts unexpectedly. Creative problem-solving develops breakthrough thinking capacity, generating solutions invisible through conventional analysis by breaking free from standard frameworks, limiting most thinking. Most people approach problems through established categories and known solutions, producing incremental improvements on existing approaches, but never discovering fundamentally different solutions that make conventional approaches obsolete. This creates innovation blindness, where you're trapped within current paradigm, unable to see alternatives that would be obvious once pointed out, but remain invisible during problem solving because thinking stays within conventional boundaries. Additionally, weak creative thinking makes you defenseless against creative competitors who solve problems through unconventional approaches you never anticipated because your thinking remained constrained by standard frameworks they escaped completely. Why creative thinking produces outsized results becomes clear examining innovation dynamics. 100 people attacking same problem through conventional analysis produce similar incremental solutions competing marginally. One person attacking same problem through creative analysis discovers fundamentally different approach, producing 10x better solution, eliminating conventional competition entirely through paradigm shift rather than incremental improvement. This asymmetry explains why breakthrough innovations typically come from outsiders rather than domain experts. Experts know too much constraining thinking within established frameworks, while outsiders bring fresh perspective enabling paradigm-breaking insights. Consider business competition where established players compete through incremental improvement of standard model. Conventional competitor analyzes market through industry categories and known strategies, producing marginally better execution of established approach, requiring superior resources to overcome incumbents' advantages. Creative competitor reframes market discovering underserved segment, alternative value proposition, or different business model that incumbents cannot match without abandoning their core business, creating uncontested space where competition is irrelevant. Same market produces dramatically different strategic positions through differential creative thinking, determining who competes in crowded space versus who creates new uncrowded space. Implementation requires systematic constraint-breaking practice training, creative thinking, through deliberate, unconventional analysis. First practice is force constraint removal. Identify any problem, articulate standard approach, and its assumptions explicitly, deliberately break primary assumption, asking what solution emerges if assumption is false. Explore implications completely before judging feasibility. This trains thinking beyond standard frameworks. Second practice is distant concept connection. Select two completely unrelated domains. Identify structural patterns in each. Force connection between patterns from different domains, creating analogies that suggest novel solutions when applied to target problem. Samurai practice this through studying diverse arts, poetry, tea ceremony, martial strategy, calligraphy, specifically to build cross-domain pattern recognition, enabling creative connections others miss. Modern equivalent is deliberate learning across distant fields, forcing brain to integrate disparate knowledge, creating unexpected insights from unusual combinations. Execute weekly creative sessions for 60 days, building substantial creative capacity through systematic boundary breaking and connection forcing. Transition. Creative problem-solving establishes breakthrough thinking, generating novel solutions. But creativity producing insights without systematic learning leaves you rediscovering what others already know. You're innovative, but inefficient. Principle 6 solves this problem by developing accelerated learning velocity, capturing others' knowledge rapidly. Principle 6, learning velocity. Learning velocity determines knowledge acquisition speed. Extract patterns rapidly. Apply lessons immediately. Compress decades into months. Learning velocity creates temporal advantage by accelerating how quickly you acquire expertise in new domains, allowing you to reach competence in months that takes others years through inefficient learning methods. Most people learn slowly because they lack systematic extraction methods, treating learning as passive absorption rather than active extraction. They read books without systematic note-taking, observe experiences without explicit lesson articulation, practice skills without deliberate weakness focus, producing scattered accumulation rather than systematic integration, creating illusion of learning without corresponding capability increase. Additionally, slow learning creates strategic vulnerability in rapidly changing environments, where skill requirements shift faster than traditional learning pace, allowing strategic obsolescence before learning completes. Why learning velocity matters more in modern environment becomes clear examining skill life cycle changes. Previously, skills remained relevant for decades, allowing slow traditional learning, producing adequate expertise before obsolescence. Currently, skills become obsolete, rapidly requiring continuous learning at accelerated pace to maintain relevance. Person learning at traditional pace reaches competence after skill becomes obsolete, perpetually chasing relevance without catching up. Person learning at accelerated pace reaches competence while skill is still valuable, applies it professionally, then moves to next emerging skill before obsolescence. This creates diverging trajectories, where fast learner accumulates progressive expertise while slow learner accumulates progressive obsolescence, despite identical learning effort, differing only in extraction efficiency. Consider professional development requiring new capability acquisition for career advancement. Person with slow learning velocity studies new skill for 2 years, reaching competence after market demand shifts to different skill, producing wasted effort without corresponding career benefit, creating frustration and learned helplessness about skill development. Person with high learning velocity studies same skill for 6 months, reaching practical competence while market demand is high, applies skill professionally for 18 months building reputation and results, then moves to next emerging skill before current skill obsolesces. Same total learning time produces dramatically different career trajectories through differential learning velocity determining skill application opportunity versus missed opportunity. Implementation requires systematic learning methodology, compressing extraction time through proven frameworks. First element is active reading using Cornell note-taking method. Divide page into summary section, note section, and question section. Take notes while reading in note section. Formulate key questions answered by notes in question section. Write brief summary after completing section, forcing explicit articulation of main concepts. This active processing during reading creates substantially better retention and understanding than passive reading. Second element is deliberate practice with immediate feedback. Identify specific weakness in skill being developed. Design practice targeting that weakness specifically. Execute practice with mechanism providing immediate performance feedback. Adjust based on feedback. Repeat until weakness becomes strength. This focused approach builds capability far faster than general practice, hoping improvement emerges naturally. Third element is teaching-based learning. Attempt explaining learned concept to someone else or write explanation publicly, forcing complete understanding check, because teaching reveals understanding gaps invisible during solo study. Execute daily for 90 days, applying systematic methodology to target skill building, measurable acceleration in learning velocity. Transition. Learning velocity establishes knowledge acquisition speed, but accelerated learning without awareness of learning process produces unconscious competence that cannot be improved systematically. You become skilled, but don't understand how you became skilled, preventing further optimization. Principle 7 solves this problem by developing metacognition, creating thinking about thinking itself. Principle 7. Metacognition. Metacognition creates self-awareness about thinking process. Observe your own thinking. Identify cognitive patterns. Optimize mental strategies deliberately. Metacognition develops highest cognitive capacity, awareness of your own thinking, allowing conscious optimization of cognitive strategies rather than automatic execution of habitual patterns. Most people think without thinking about thinking, operating on cognitive autopilot, using whatever thinking strategies developed accidentally through experience without conscious examination of whether those strategies are effective or could be improved. This creates optimized mediocrity, where you perform as well as habitual strategies allow, but never improve, because you don't examine strategies themselves, only outcomes they produce. Additionally, weak metacognition makes cognitive biases invisible. You're influenced by confirmation bias, availability heuristic, anchoring effects without recognizing it happening, creating systematically flawed decisions you believe are rational. Why metacognition enables unlimited improvement becomes clear examining capability development dynamics. Without metacognition, you can improve specific skills through practice, but cannot improve learning process itself because you're not aware of how you learn. With metacognition, you can examine learning process, identifying inefficiencies, then optimize learning approach itself, creating meta-improvement, where you become progressively better at getting better. This compounds exponentially. Improving specific skill creates linear capability growth. Improving learning capacity creates exponential capability growth, as increasingly efficient learning process accelerates all future learning, producing diverging trajectories over time. Consider problem-solving performance requiring complex analysis under time pressure. Person without metacognition attacks problems using habitual approach without awareness of their own thinking patterns. When habitual approach fails, they experience confusion and frustration without understanding why approach failed or how to adjust, producing inconsistent performance varying with whether problems match their habitual strategies. Person with metacognition observes their own problem-solving process, identifying which strategies work in which contexts. When habitual approach fails, they recognize failure immediately and consciously switch to alternative strategy based on situation requirements, producing consistent performance through adaptive strategy selection rather than rigid habit execution. Implementation requires daily metacognitive practice, examining your own thinking explicitly. End each day with 10-minute reflection session answering specific questions. What were today's most important decisions? What thinking process led to those decisions? What cognitive patterns were evident? What worked well? What could improve? What will I do differently tomorrow based on today's observations? Write answers explicitly, rather than just thinking about them, because writing forces articulation, revealing fuzzy thinking that feels clear mentally. Additionally, practice real-time metacognition during complex tasks. While solving difficult problem, occasionally pause, asking what strategy am I using currently? Is this strategy working effectively? What alternative strategy might work better? Should I switch strategies or continue current approach? This trains awareness of thinking during thinking rather than only retrospectively. Execute daily for 60 days, building substantial metacognitive capacity, creating awareness of your own cognitive patterns, enabling conscious optimization of thinking strategies. Sequential implementation. Protocol. These 7 principles must be implemented sequentially, building cognitive architecture systematically rather than attempting simultaneous development, creating overwhelm and failure. Weeks 1 through 4. Implement Principle 1. Attention control through daily candle meditation or breath counting, establishing focus foundation required for all subsequent training. Weeks 5 through 8. Add Principle 2. Pattern recognition through systematic case study analysis, maintaining attention practice while building pattern extraction capability. Weeks 9 through 12 add Principle 3, decision speed through timed problem solving, maintaining previous practices while building rapid assessment capacity. Weeks 13 through 18 add Principle 4, mental endurance through progressive session extension, maintaining previous practices while building sustained performance. Weeks 19 through 24 add Principle 5, creative problem solving through weekly constraint-breaking sessions, maintaining previous practices while building breakthrough thinking. Weeks 25 through 32, add Principle 6, learning velocity through systematic methodology application, maintaining previous practices while building knowledge acquisition speed. Weeks 33 through 40, add Principle 7, metacognition through daily reflection practice, completing cognitive architecture integration. After 40 weeks, all 7 cognitive capacities operate systematically, creating superior thinking, architecture, producing measurably better performance than naturally gifted individuals who never trained cognitive systems deliberately. This isn't casual improvement through comfortable intellectual stimulation. This is systematic cognitive development through disciplined training most people refuse to execute because difficulty feels excessive initially. But difficulty is precisely what creates superior capability. Comfortable activities produce comfortable results. Difficult training produces exceptional results through demonstrated capacity handling cognitive demands others avoid entirely. Diagnostic assessment. 7 Principle Cognitive Diagnostic reveals current capability levels, identifying strengths requiring maintenance and weaknesses requiring intensive development. Assessment 1, Attention Control. Can you maintain focused attention on single demanding task for 60 minutes without distraction? Sustained focus means strong foundation. Wandering attention means weak foundation, requiring priority training. Assessment 2, Pattern recognition. Can you observe new situation and immediately identify which known pattern it exemplifies, producing instant strategic classification? Immediate classification means strong pattern library. Confusion means weak patterns requiring systematic building. Assessment 3, Decision speed. When presented with urgent decision, do you respond within available time window or require extended deliberation, missing timing? Fast, adequate response means strong speed. Slow, perfect analysis means weak speed requiring pressure training. Assessment 4, Mental endurance. Can you maintain peak cognitive performance throughout 8-hour workday, or do you decline after 2 to 3 hours? Sustained excellence means strong endurance. Early decline means weak endurance requiring capacity building. Assessment 5, Creative thinking. When facing difficult problem, do you generate multiple unconventional approaches or only conventional solutions? Novel solutions mean strong creativity. Conventional approaches mean weak creativity requiring constraint-breaking practice. Assessment 6, Learning velocity. When learning new skill, do you reach practical competence within months or require years of traditional study? Rapid competence means strong velocity. Slow progress means weak velocity requiring systematic methodology. Assessment 7, Metacognition. Can you articulate explicitly how you think about complex problems, identifying your cognitive strategies and biases? Explicit articulation means strong metacognition. Vague awareness means weak metacognition, requiring reflection practice. Honest assessment reveals which principles are developed requiring maintenance and which require intensive 40-week focus, building complete cognitive architecture systematically. You now have complete samurai cognitive training system, building superior thinking architecture through 7 systematic principles. Not through genetic advantage or natural talent relying on biological lottery. Through deliberate systematic training, developing attention control, pattern recognition, decision speed, mental endurance, creative problem solving, learning velocity, and metacognition, all integrated, creating demonstrably superior cognitive performance exceeding naturally gifted individuals who never trained deliberately. Challenge starts today with Principle 1. Execute 20-minute attention training tonight. Candle meditation or breath counting. Track distraction frequency. This begins 40-week sequential implementation, building permanent cognitive superiority. Post in comments your current cognitive weakness and which principle challenges you most, creating public commitment, activating accountability. Subscribe if this showed you intelligence is trained capacity, not fixed trait, requiring only systematic development through proven practices, not genetic advantage. Most men will watch understanding intellectually cognitive training is possible, but never implement systematically, remaining at habitual cognitive performance, wondering why naturally gifted people seem smarter despite having identical potential, requiring only disciplined training to actualize. You're different, you implement. Tonight, 20 minutes. Attention training. Begin cognitive transformation through systematic practice, building architecture, making you more effective than any gifted genius, relying on untrained natural talent, facing trained systematic capability.